Sweet. Okay, sorry about that. It's my first time doing a live stream, trying to work out the kinks here. Cool. See you camera 10-4. All right, what's up, guys? All right, thank you guys for joining my live stream. This is the first one, hopefully of many. And today we're going over my tool loadout as a general contractor. Handyman, serviceman. I do have my general contracting license, so that's my main source of income. However, I do lots of stuff related to home repair and maintenance. So my tool bag is kind of tailored to a little bit of everything. The thing weighs like 80 pounds. It's got everything I usually need in it from day to day, other than any of the power tools and specialty tools I got on the truck. So I guess we'll start it out with the big stuff and get it out of the way. It's okay, yeah. So I'll be getting that. I'll work out a way to get my service better out here for later. So starting off, impact gun. And then I carry a screw pouch, and this, I'm not always wanting to wear a whole tool belt, so I'll throw this on, and I mainly use this for when I'm doing drywall, so I'll throw drywall screws in here. Some pink stuff. This is DAP, nail filler, spackle, whatever you want to call it. Mount it high, let it dry, sand it flat. Works great for filling nail holes, doing trim, and stuff like that. Interior, exterior, as long as you paint it, she's good to go. That was weird and creepy. What was weird and creepy? What happened that was creepy? Anyway, okay, so thanks for the input, John. All right, so moving on. There's a pair of work gloves. These are Milwaukee Cut Level 3s. They work great. Tape measure. Okay. I use a Milwaukee tape measure. This is the stud. It's not magnetic. I like the magnetic one. I like the magnetic one as well. What's great about this one is I like the finger hole underneath here. It looks great. Some masking tape. A voltmeter. This is a must-have. We got a chalk line. I got a piece of sandpaper in here. This is just for orbital sander. However, I use this just, whatever I need, sand down, some spackle or what have you. Silicone, clear silicone. I use this all the time, especially on plumbing jobs if I'm doing a drain. Backsplash, what have you. I use it to secure countertops as well on smaller ones like on vanities. Silicone's the way to go. So this is just a piece of copper with a threaded adapter on it. So if you're doing like a shower or something, this is great to screw in when you're testing for pressure and testing for leaks. So use that. I'm going to save the coolest thing for last. This is the Franklin stud finder. This thing works great. I've tried and had almost every stud finder on the market, and this line by Franklin works really well. They have a couple different versions of this out. This is like the medium-sized version. They run about $50, but they're worth it. Thanks, John. Thanks for your input, man. You're helping me out. Like I said, it's my first live stream, so just trying to work out the kinks here. This is a Diablo paddle bit case here. I got all my sizes I need. I run through about one of these every year and a half. You burn through them, you hit nails. Here I got some miscellaneous drill bits. So I got, I got a punch, some countersinks. I got some. These go in your large square, your rafter square to do stairs. Tap and die deal. There's some glass bits in here. This is more my just miscellaneous drilling bits, not drill bits for like my impact gun, but mainly for doing holes and such. This is my drill bit case for my impact gun. I got pretty much everything in there you'd need. 5/16, quarter, a couple of different size square drives for electrical, Phillips T10s all the way to T35s, and some Phillips. Okay, this is drill bits. I got most of them left so far. These two, about once a year, swap these out for a new one, get worn out. Small chisel, flathead, smaller flathead. Another small flathead. Phillips head screwdriver. Okay, I have a two-part epoxy. So the reason I actually got this was I had a tile job and I had a chipped tile I was trying to repair. So I actually mixed this two-part epoxy together and got it to a color I liked, and ended up filling the hole and sanding it down. It actually worked really well to repair the tile. Okay, so this is the CA glue I have on me. It's Instant Bond. This is for doing outside corners on trim mainly, just to glue them together to get a nice tight fit. I have the thick version. I don't like the medium's okay. I don't like the thin. It runs off too fast. I don't particularly like this brand by Type Bond. This is what I have in my bag. It fits in there. But I do prefer the 2UP brand. It's much better. Some shears. These are right side shears. Where's my other Knipex? Oh, there they are. So I got a couple size Knipex pliers here. I just got turned on to these. They work great. Before I was running the Milwaukee. These are good too. Don't get me wrong. And I actually like both for different reasons. The Milwaukees you can kind of adjust like with one hand, you know, if you're in a pickle. Whereas these you kind of need two hands to adjust. The other thing I like about these over the Milwaukee is that the back end here, this is really close. So I find myself if I'm wrenching down on something and this it goes free, it slips free. I'm always pinching my fingers in the back of this, whereas I don't with the Knipex. I think I pronounced that right. Drill extension. These are huge. I use this all the time. Works wonders. Along with the drill extension, I'm going to go with this right here, pound for pound, dollar for dollar. This is the most, I would say, valuable tool for the money, I think, in my bag. This is the DeWalt angle screw attachment. I can't tell you how many times this has saved my ass. They have different ones out. Milwaukee's got one. I got this a long time ago, and it's really tough too. I'll put a paddle bit on it, and I will send it full force with my impact gun through 3 or 4 studs and nails. I've yet to bust this thing, so I really like this. Okay, this is just a Titan flat razor blade. This is great for, you know, cleaning, stickers off windows, cleaning up tile, stuff like that. A hammer. I do framing. I have a framing hammer, but honestly, a good flat hammer that's not too big. It's versatile. I can frame with it. Tell me I'm wrong, but it's fine. It's gonna work. But I like that it's flat. That way I don't have to worry about marring up surfaces. It's Stanley. It's fine. Another Phillips head. Okay, I got some nut drivers here. Assortment, quarter inch, 7/16, 3/8, 5/16. Quarter inch and 5/16 I use the most, like on hose clamps and stuff. But every once in a while I'll use the 3/8 or 7/16. Another chisel. This is a plumb bob. I got a pretty long, I just replaced the string that was on there. It was kind of crappy, and I just used a string line for fencing. But a plumb bob works great, comes in handy a lot. Adjustable wrenches. So I got 3 of them, different sizes. I got some larger ones on the truck, but those I only have to bring out on certain occasions. Oh, thanks, John. I gotta go see you probably tomorrow. Do you know me in real life? What's your plan for today? Oh, I'm married, Olivia. Sorry. Oh, thanks, Ted. All right. Yeah. So moving on. This will be right here. All right. So I have a electrical tester. This one's by Klein. This one's pretty nifty. You can put these on there and just stick it in an outlet, and it'll light up and tell you if you're hot or not. You got those. Milwaukee strippers. These are just like my second or third pair of these. Somebody keeps borrowing them and cutting live wires with them. No idea who's doing that, but use these. These work great. No complaints. I'm not partial to any brand. As you can see, I have like 12 different brands in front of me. You know, I do know certain brands make better tools than others, but at the end of the day, if it gets the job done and you like the way it feels in your hand, that's really what it comes down to. You know, you want it to last too. I got some channel lock dikes or wire cutters. These are Klein crimpers. I mainly use these for crimping off the ground wire in an outlet or in a box, I should say. So here's a tool that I've had for like 15 years. I used to do a lot of gunk on there. I used to do a lot of chain link fencing, and these angled needle nose pliers work really well for just grabbing the tie and wrapping it around the pole and tightening it up. And they come in handy too. I got some grease on them, so now. All right, this is a carpet knife. The difference between this and a regular razor knife is that it's rounded on the top, and that just helps it glide along carpet better. Where I think a straight knife kind of gets bound up, you know. Okay, here we got a 5-in-1 scraper utility. Lots of uses for it. I mainly use it just to scrape stuff. You know, I guess you can clean off a paint roller with it or pry out a nail. Here's another one of my favorites. I guess at the end of this video, I'll do like top 5 things, not necessarily top 5 things that you're going to use every day, because obviously like your screw gun, your tape measure, your square, there are things you're going to use every day that are top 5 you're going to need every day. But there's going to be a top 5. I'll make a top 5 at the end of this of the top 5 tools that I like because of their versatility and their ingenuity. This is going to be one of them. This is a nail puller. This thing's great. Okay, it's just a knife with a sheath here. Okay, now I have a combination square. This is a smaller one. Primarily use this for marking reveals on door casings and window trim. It comes in handy when you're doing that. Mini flat bar. Use this all the time. Helps out a lot when you're doing flooring in like tight places. We have a little pick. This is actually for doing redoing window screens. Use this to pull off the old gasket, but I found that it was so useful for so many things I just left it in my bag. Extra pencil, which I don't really use these anymore. I got a different style pencil. We have a 9/16 1/2-inch wrench. Those are pretty common sizes, so it's good to have that on you. Okay, over here I have a couple electrical tape, black and white, and then some plumbing tape, Teflon tape. And this is just a bit holder. You could throw some of the stuff you might use more frequently on here, so you don't have to dig into your bag and get your drill case. You can just pop it off of that. I'm gonna try to speed this up. It's cold out here in the shed. It's starting to get chilly. Okay, so I got a torpedo level, framing square. Another one of my favorite tools. This is the Starrett miter finder. This works great for doing baseboard. If you guys have ever installed baseboard, you know that the outside corner is never a true 90. So this works great to find out your miter. A couple cat's paws. If you're working with someone else and they don't have one, and you need one too. Okay, this is just a straight edge ruler. I have spare lead for my mechanical contractor pencil. I don't have it on me; it's in the house, but backup lead for that, or graphite, I should say. A drywall saw, kind of archaic, but I'll use this a lot over a multi-tool or a hole saw because it doesn't create as much dust, and I can kind of isolate everything to the vacuum, which works great. Okay, so that almost wraps it up. Okay, so the last thing is a Leica distance finder. So this is essentially a tape measure, except for it's got a laser on it, so you can point and shoot, and it'll read back to you the correct distance. This works really good for doing takeoffs for like flooring, for painting. Times when you need to run through the whole house, I can run through a whole house and do takeoff for a floor in like 5 minutes with this, because it'll add up your distances as you go. The model number for this guy, I guess I'll just tell you the brand. It's the Leica Disto D2, if you're interested. I may throw a link in the description of this after I publish it for this guy and a few other things that I have. But yeah, anyway, so if you guys are still watching this, thank you. This is my first live stream. A little bit rusty at the start, and a little rusty the whole way through here. Trying to get better at talking to camera, trying to stop saying so much. So, like I said, my top 5, I think if I were to, out of what I carry in my tool bag every day, this would probably be number 5 right here, the Leica. Don't use it all the time, but when I do use it, it really comes in handy. It saves me a lot of time when I need it. So one of the top 5 right here. The other one, the stud finder. I firmly believe you need to have a stud finder. There is tricks to finding the stud, but when you're running cabinets and you're trying to be efficient, it's nice to have this. The angler, that's what I call it at work, called the angler, gets into tight places. One spot where this really helps is if you're running a picture frame for a deck and you're screwing in the joist hangers and you have to have 2 joists about 1.5 inches from each other. If you're not running doubles, say you're limited on material, you can get in between the joists and joist hanger in, even though the space is only 1.5 inches wide. So that's the last time I used this, was the other day doing that, so that came in handy. Tool number 4, must have, awesome tool, the miter finder for my top 5. Tool number 4, the miter finder. This thing is great. And I was okay at doing base and doing. I'm not a trim guy. I do lots of different things. Having one of these, you can get professional finishes even if you're not a trim guy. So take your time, use a miter finder. The 5th tool, oh yeah, the nail puller. This is probably my number 1 here. Use this all the time. We do a lot of demo, and we do a lot of calculated demo, I guess you could say. So if we're reusing baseboard, if we're reinstalling new trim where an old casing was, if I need to cut nails off, pull nails, this thing works great. And you'd be surprised the amount of leverage you can get with this. I can arguably get more leverage out of this because of this small rotational pivot than I can out of my hammer when I'm trying to pull out a nail. So when you grab the base of a nail and you rotate this, you have extreme amount of force over a small area. That's because, like, if you think about the ratio on a lever, you know, this is like 8 inches tall and this is a 1/2 inch. So that's like a 16-to-1 ratio. Whereas this, you know, that's like 2 inches to 10. So, you know, that's like a 5-to-1. So it's, or maybe 12. So a little less, maybe 6-to-1. But 6-to-1 over 16-to-1, way more leverage. But yeah, so that about wraps up my in the bag. I'm not going to show myself putting all this away, but this does give me a great chance to reorganize my bag. It's hard, or I should say it's hard to stay on top of keeping your bag organized when you're constantly using it multiple times a day, all day. Things just kind of end up finding different homes, and things will alternate in and out of my bag as well. So like this is everything I have now. You know, some things might make their way out of the bag. Some other things make their way into the bag. Just depends on how much I'm using things. And a lot of times I like to try to, you know, if I see a tool that I haven't used in 6 months in my bag, maybe I'll ditch it. Like I know my 7/16 nut driver, I have like never used it, so maybe I'll ditch that. You know, maybe I'll ditch the Milwaukee channel locks because I have the Knipex now. You know, so stuff like that. Yeah, it's funny how much lighter your tool bag gets when you take out 5 things. So, but anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Any of you guys that stuck around, thank you. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.